What's happening, everyone? Welcome to GBALL Vision. Hope you are doing awesome today. We are going to be talking about some excellent knives that have incredibly good action. I don't care if they are on bearings or washers. It does not matter as long as the opening action and the closing action is on point. It can make this list. This list is going to be comprised of some more mid-tier knives. To kick us off is the Brian Brown Knives Yeager M version 2. This is on skiffs. It's one of the most beautiful knives in production at this point in time. In my opinion, this is riding on skiffs. It has incredibly good opening action and closing action. Now, before you go saying that it's due to the skiffs really don't help with action in most cases. They do help strengthen around the pivot, though. If you have a little bit of blade play or anything of that nature, the skiffs will really help you out in that sense. But the Brian Brown Knives Yeager M is one of the most coveted knives on the market today. They are very hard to get. He does have a version 3 coming this year. This is a version 2, and it's one of my most prized possessions when it comes to my knives. It's definitely up there in the top tier. The Brian Brown Knives Yeager M has some of the absolute best open and closing action on any knife that I have. And it's amazing what they're able to do and still maintain a solid lockup, no up and down play, no side to side play. Let's go ahead and move on to another one. So this is a more recent acquisition here. This is the Null Knives Raiden. I've had it for about a month or two, but this thing surprised the hell out of me, and maybe it shouldn't have, but it had my hopes up so high that when it actually lived up to the expectations and surpassed them, it was an incredible feeling. This thing has, for thumb studs, it has some of the best opening action on any knife that I have. The close is absolutely hydraulic controlled, very well done from Riot and Null Knives. This is one of my favorite designs. You have this harpoon drop point blade in M390. It's been acid washed. You have the dual thumb studs. I did throw some rubber bands on there just for aesthetics, basically. And then you have this anodized blue frame. This thing is an actual game changer when it comes to thumb stud knives. A lot of people really prefer a cutout of some sort, but I'm a huge fan of thumb studs, and when they can nail a knife, a design like this, get everything exactly the way that it should be, the ergos, the aesthetics, the blade, the edge, the action, it's just incredible what they're able to do. The Null Knives Raiden definitely makes this list. Very hydraulic, very controlled close, and this bad boy just thwacks out of there. Absolutely love this thing. Let's go ahead and check out another one. And here is another absolute masterpiece. This is the Christensen Knifeworks Maverick S, and it's outfitted fully with Zircuti studs, backspacer, pocket clip, pivot collars. It's an absolutely beautiful sheep's foot style design. It is not a big knife, but it just fits perfectly in the hand. You have this very slicey, thin, hollow ground M390 blade. But what really does it on this knife is the open and closing action. It just flies out of there into the open position. And as soon as you disengage this guy, it will fall to your nail and just casually, easily, smoothly drop shut. You can really just go like that and you are home free. But this thing, for having such a smaller blade in size and a lighter blade, it's incredible that the action is this good on this knife, and the sounds are awesome. Even with a micarta handle, it's incredible. It just thwacks out. Nice positive click when it locks. This is another home run from Riot and Christensen Knifeworks. This is one of my all-time favorite knives, and it will never leave my collection. Everything is done perfectly on this knife as well. You have good access with the chamfer on that liner. Easy to disengage. Falls right closed. Nice and hydraulic. And that's what you'll find across the board with a lot of these is I prefer a more hydraulic drop than I do just a willy-nilly drop shut, loosey-goosey type of a deal. I'd rather have a nice controlled drop than anything else, and that's what a lot of these knives have to offer. Most of them will drop right to your nail, and then you can kind of just hold it there, give it just a little bit, and it will drop completely shut. Absolutely love this guy. The Maverick S is a phenomenal knife, and I want to someday get the titanium frame lock version, but for now, this thing is absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and check out another one. So yes, this guy is definitely going to make the list. With such a short blade, a lighter blade, the action on this thing is absolutely ridiculous. Now, it does have a little thicker of a blade stock, but it's still a little smaller of a blade. And the action on these, this is a Vox F5.5, the Urban EDC Supply exclusives, with the Segaha pattern done on the titanium scales. M390 sheep's foot blade with a beautiful machine satin done on here. Pill-shaped hole for your deployment. This is a liner lock, so it's very easy to manipulate as a lefty or a righty. You do have a geared titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip, a phenomenal design. This is a great workhorse of a knife. I love the ergos on this thing, but most of all, it has some incredible opening and closing action, especially for a liner lock. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. Love the action on here, the opening and closing action for such a small little knife. It's incredible what they're able to do these days and continue doing it across different designs. I love being in the knife world today, and it's so exciting to be a part of all this. I can't wait to see what a lot of these guys come up with next. But that is the Vox F5.5. Has some of the most incredible action for a small knife that I have in my collection or that I've seen. Let's go ahead and check out some others. And of course, we will bring out at least one EMP EDC. This is the all murdered out version of the EMP EDC Nimble W. It has some of the absolute best action that I've ever experienced. I absolutely love this thing. It just kind of hydraulically closes to your finger, and then as soon as you move your finger, it goes home. It's awesome. The opening action is incredible. Doesn't matter which deployment method you use, the rear flipper, the front flipper, reverse flick, thumb flick, slow rolling it. It's smooth as butter. I love this design. I love this version, all blacked out with the DLC blade. It's so stunning looking, so very well done and refined. Absolutely love the Nimble W, and the action on it is superb. Some of the best across the Nimble line. Look at that thing. Choo! As soon as you move your finger, it's closing. Absolutely love the Nimble W. Some of the best action on the market comes from EMP EDC. Absolutely love what they do. Let's go ahead and check out a couple more. This right here is the Vox Naz Fox knives Chillin. This is the carbon fiber and M398 version. It was, when I got this, this was my first knife with this style of blade and design. It's like a kukri and a folding pocket knife, and the action on this thing is just absurd. It thwacks out of there for a liner lock. It's very impressive. And then the closing action is just absolutely on point. It does have skiffs for bearings, and I don't know, I bought this that way, but I believe that it was probably just as smooth, but now you have a little bit better control around your pivot. It does have M398 carbon fiber scales that are very well finished. And then this has a titanium Lynch Northwest deep carry clip. Absolutely love this thing. The design is phenomenal, especially for an EDC or a work knife. This thing is incredible, and I'm so glad that I checked these out, and the Vosteed Nightshade as well. Definitely some of the best action in the game coming out of this knife right here, and it's an all-around phenomenal EDC and work knife. Let's check out another one. Next up, we have the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest. This thing is absolutely beautiful. You have a hand rub satin M390 blade with that nice fuller. Beautiful carbon fiber inlays. I think that's gold matter fat carbon. You have a titanium pocket clip, open construction. This thing is absolutely a dream. Very smooth to open and close. This is one of the most fidgety knives that I have. I love that front flipper. The way he designed it is just amazing. It don't matter which way you want to open it with the front flipper. Very easy. You can get to the fuller there, and that also feels extremely good. Brian Nadeau is the designer, and he has his own detent system for these knives. It's not your typical detent ball. It's more of a nub than it is a ball, but it works very, very well for the open and closing action. For such a thin blade, it just drops shut like a baby doll going to sleep. Thing is absolutely incredible. Love the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest. That'll do it for this one, guys. If you want to check out some more cool videos, click here or here. And if you are not subscribed, click this button right here. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.